What is going on, everybody? Jimbo Thick here. We are back with the Expedition of the Damned, our Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th Edition campaign. I am your GM, your DM for the night, Jimbo Thick. We have the full cast and crew of the expedition present, and I believe none of them need too many introductions at this point, as we have a heck of a game ahead of us, and we're going to skip the introductions for now, and we're going to go straight in. So, last we left off, the crew of the expedition has found themselves split from one another, being that Wolfram was seemingly taken by some foul rat men. Possible saviors, possible, I don't know, treacherous allies, we're unsure. The rest of the expedition is tenement on the current situation of their beloved handgunner. But regardless of what they may think of him, they still attempted to rescue him from his supposed abduction. Sending a small team, and despite the necessity of time not being on their side, to go and rescue him from the Skaven tunnels that have apparently been burrowed or perhaps dug recently beneath the great sands of the desert. Upon going below, you did in fact find an extensive tunnel system, not as elaborately put together as the one beneath Lashik, obviously not repurposed from something as banal as a sewer, or perhaps something even the dwarves would make, but something wholly Skaven made, not exactly well put together, but we'll get the job done for the moment, to say the least. Seemingly powered by what was known as the Great Wheels, a series of essentially hamster wheels run by Skaven slaves to death. Upon their discovery, Luther decided to blow them up after an assassin spotted and attacked you guys in the tunnels. You managed to break free, flee, blow up the power system, which Wolfram found out as he was abducted by Gracier Throke, as Throke is... Perhaps his own head is on the chopping block with all his mistakes, and his chieftain has pretty much told him that he's going to be the next head he crushes should he not deliver results. Henceforth, bringing the Wolfman, their ace in the hole, the human traitor that they have turned, or also eloquently pushed into a relationship with.
I'm rescuing them.
Rescue, exactly. That he would be their guide within the human city, the one that they are currently moving to with the copious amounts of man flesh, and a piece of the puzzle, directions on where the Red Fur's loot is. Because whatever it is, the Warlord wants it. He wants it bad. And he will do almost anything to get it. However, during the destruction of the Great Wheels, allowed Wolfram to escape from his capture, finding himself away from the immediate threat of the foul Skaven, but trapped seemingly in what appeared to be some kind of ancient Nehekharan tomb. It turned out to, in fact, be guarded by sentinel statues of some kind with animalistic heads. We would know them as Ushapti. As Wolfram was assailed by these creatures attempting to shift his way out of the broken tomb, as it appears that some of it had been collapsed, he managed to break free through a stroke of fate to foil the immediate death of his person. However, the collapse of the tomb appeared to have been the perfect burrowing ground for a nest of large Arabian scorpions. Upon Wolfram's arrival, as he could see the light at the end of the tunnel quite literally above him, he attempted to climb his way out of a literal scorpion's nest to safety. Through his valiant efforts, he managed to kill two of the very large scorpions, with the two others still attacking him, managing at the last moment to sting him as he pried himself free of the opening, falling into the sand underneath the baking sun as consciousness crept in. And that's where we left Wolfram. While the rest of the party was assailed by the Skaven in reciprocity for what they did during the tunnels, it appears that under the cover of nightfall, every single night since your entrance, your foyer into the tunnel system, members of the expedition have gone missing, supposedly by ill means, as you have found blood and obvious signs that their bodies were drug off into the desert. With your numbers dwindling, Lucien's frustration showing, that's where we're going to pick up. As it is the next morning. We're picking up with the expedition itself. Wolfram will have to wait. This morning you wake up, you've lost more men. You're nearly to half the men that you started with after the big fight with the Cornate warband. What would you guys like to do?
Does anybody know how far away we are?
Would we know how far away we are?
I'm assuming there's like some kind of tent set up that Nazaro has. That there's like a private tent for the heads of the expedition to gather in. He has the map that was supplied with him. He also has the captain from the Harem Guard with him. If you remember, the Harem Guard was relatively untouched. They might have only lost like one or two people minutes ago. The captain herself, being a native of Araby, she is a woman of few words, and you do know that she has not really left Lashik proper, at least for quite some time, possibly her entire life. This might be the farthest she's ever traveled. However, she consults the map.
I also consult the map.
Henry consults the map as well. As you sit down next to her, and his dashing good looks, his very much more large, robust frame and physique since you first started. She looks over towards him with her veil kind of like fluttering a little bit in the wind. You see a scarred face, mostly battle scarred, but perhaps ruggedly beautiful in its own way, Henry. Very dark complexion. She looks over towards you, and then she points at the map. I believe we are here. And if we take this course, and she kind of traces her finger across the map in the direction of where you believe Sudenburg is. If we can move unhindered, perhaps a week, 2 weeks, we are close.
I'll ask Nazaro how the supplies are. If he's in who's in charge of supplies.
Good news. We have plenty of water. We have plenty of the survivable food sources as well. Seeing as how we are down to almost nothing for the expedition, my friend. We have nothing left. This whole endeavor has destroyed us. So yes, we have plenty of food and water.
It was never going to be easy, Nazaro. We knew this, and we accepted this. You are paid handsomely, I believe.
I am expecting, how do they call it in the Empire? Hazard pay for my efforts. Perhaps you, being the leader of this expedition now, Mr. Luther, perhaps you can arrange for a sizable stipend for me and my men, my company.
The Empire will always loyal, my friend. Rest assured, you will be handsomely paid.
Good. The sooner we get to Sudenburg, the better. However,
I agree.
at this rate, we will not make it. We will die in the night with our throats slit.
Perhaps we
When
could
it
try
comes
to
to it,
set
we'll all just have
some,
to share a tent.
perhaps we could set some sort of ambush.
The mongrel speaks up at this point. I don't think that they're going to fall for a simple ambush. I didn't tell any of you, but I've been actually taking a private watch myself. They're good. Very good. But I don't think we're going to have to lay an ambush soon enough. They're bleeding us. These creatures, they only prey on the weak. The weaker we get, the more they'll show their hand. The bolder.
We perhaps feign weakness, the more so. We show ourselves to be crippled in some way.
Maybe that could work. We could have some of the men perhaps pretend to be sick or something. I'm not very good at this. How about suggestions from the rest of you? Lucien, any ideas?
We could perhaps move more slowly during the day, or even rest, scavenge, take some time. It is still unclear to me whether or not they are following us, or whether or not we are just by chance on the same path. If we were to alter our course, could we shake them off?
I would be willing to try anything at this point, whatever suggestions you have. Of course, I am not leading this merry band of damned fools. Mr. Luther is, so his decisions will carry the day.
I feel like I am trying to stumble slowly with the navigation already. As we've seen the past few days, has not navigated us well.
Well, perhaps Master Aldebrand. Oh, wait. He doesn't leave his tent.
He is a strange man. Wise but strange.
How about our young knight? Excuse me, knight commander.
Thank you. I do like Lucien's plan. I just caution us going too far off trail due to our limited supplies.
Is there anywhere, are we close to anything else right now? Or is the closest thing actually Sudenburg?
At this point, if you actually look at the Arabian map, there is nothing. You are in the middle of nothingness. There are no cities. There were no former cities as far as you know. At least with current map. You might be able to find perhaps a small oasis of some kind, perhaps. But you are essentially in the middle of what would be the equivalent of the Sahara Desert. Just nothing but sandy dunes for miles and miles and miles. Where you currently are in your travels, the closest city would in fact be Sudenburg at this point.
Looking at the map,
Yes.
just to kind of, are we north of the Gulf of Medes?
So you would be. Oh,
Kind of.
I forgot. because of the failed survival check. As far as you guys know, you're close to Sudenburg.
Okay.
So that's where we're at right now.
Okay, but we assume.
You assume
Okay.
that you are somewhere above the Gulf of Medes.
Okay.
That's where you assume. Now, I should warn you. The ruins of Antok are you would know this, Luther, because you would have had to have somewhat studied the area, at least a little bit. That it was supposedly perhaps an elven settlement, long abandoned.
Okay.
The Empire is interested in the ruins, but they have found it difficult to make headway there, in the fact that there appears to be some kind of anomaly that prevents ships from making a direct path there unhazard. In addition to that, you would know that the city is in fact a ruined settlement. There's nothing within it.
Okay.
Now, El Kalabad would have been a city you could have made it to. However, according to the directions that you took from Vulture Mountain, you believe you are somewhere between Antok and the Cracked Land.
The Cracked Land, okay.
Now,
right.
I should also preface this, that the map we're looking at is not necessarily the map you would have from Lashik.
Yeah, it's not necessarily accurate.
Yeah, this is much more, the map we're looking at is much more accurate in current times than what you would probably have.
Okay. Okay. But I know to steer clear of Antok, it's dangerous.
You were told that it would be unusual. You wouldn't find safety there.
Okay.
Yeah, there are no people. There is no formal settlement. If you're very lucky, there could be a separate expedition. There are essentially like researchers that make trips there. Not many, but some. And of course, you also run the risk of running across looters, or even the local nomads that camp out there that are pretty much bandits, as you
tribes and stuff.
Come across. Yeah. Yes.
But we do probably need to start heading south, I assume. Anyway.
Probably at some point.
Okay. All right. Well, we can go ahead and try to start heading south now. Try to perhaps get to the Gulf. Hopefully we'll be able to find easier sources of food closer to the Gulf. Instead of these damn shifting sands. Antok, the ruined elven city there, it is known to have troubles. There be looters, strange happenings, locals.
I misspoke.
Oh.
I was thinking of the actual ruined elven city. Antok is not the ruined elven city. Antok is actually a crusader city. It is actually in possession of the Bretonnians.
Okay. It's ruins now. It's gone.
It is, for the most part, it is ruins. However, it was a city that the Crusaders from Bretonnia had taken over from Araby and had settled in. It essentially was used as a staging point for the Bretonnians to push south into Lustria and the Southlands.
Okay. Apologies, it was actually Bretonian in nature. Sorry, it's this heat. It's exhausting. But yes, I believe we should head south, probably. Food supplies being what they are. I don't see we have much choice. They're bleeding us slowly out here in the sands. The closer we are to the water, perhaps the better.
That it was. You said it was a Bretonnian city, yes? Fortress.
I believe at some point it was a fortress. It lies in shambles now.
If it is anything built by strong Bretonnian hands, it would be, even in its ruin, much more suitable than our current state of affairs. Be great for a defensive. Let's just call it a counter ambush, maybe. I do not know how to say these things.
Well, we will. I don't know exactly where we are, but hopefully we will perhaps get close to Antok or the Gulf.
Either way, from defense or for scavenging, it seems like the most promising course.
Indeed.
Let's head there. Perhaps we can make some of the men look injured. Perhaps we can have them stumble. Perhaps slow down our pace a smidge, and perhaps throw some blankets or bandages on a few of them. Perhaps give them more of a weakened look.
Very well. I could. All right. I will arrange what I can.
Perhaps
It might do us well if I could put a few bandages on myself as well. Perhaps that would encourage harassers that the wizard is injured, perhaps weakened.
All right. We have a plan. If everyone's in agreement, then I will relay the message to our men. Henley, I don't know what you want to do with your band of knights now, but you do as you please. Nog, if you would, just have Rory not be as cheerful as usual. Nog gives a big thumb. Rory says, "That's going to be a tough one, Governor. Tough one indeed."
Oh, no, I'm not going to rein you in too hard, mate.
You know how it is, Master Nog. You know how it is. I'll put a dour expression on my face, and we'll call it good. And with that, everything is gathered up, and your day is set out. I need a survival roll for the expedition, for your travels for the day. I need to find my travel table.
Not starting off strong. I'm going to use a reroll.
Oh, already? You're already using a reroll. I like it. I like it.
That's how it's supposed to be done.
Oh, much better. 21 out of 50.
21.
Yep.
Very good. Begin to make your way further south. You travel most of the day a little bit slower than the day before, with the orders given to your men to feign some sort of weakness. As night begins to approach, with your successful survival check, you have a choice, Luther. Are you... So you have choices in essentially where you can set your camp for the night. You can either set your camp up at the bottom of a dune, or which will leave you vulnerable and exposed, obviously, from the ridgeline. Or you can find essentially what looks like ancient ruins of some kind. Perhaps broken fragments of a long, dusted aside city or townscape. Pillars shattered, broken over, coated with the sands of time, but structures none the least. You could take refuge within the ruins of some long forgotten place, or you can risk your time out in the dunes.
As I love a good ancient town, I will choose ancient town. What's the worst that could happen? Zombies? Mummies?
What's the worst thing?
Undead horrors?
Yeah, all of you
Ring
see a strange sight, a broken segments of the dunescape, as there appears to be what looks like buried structures. Most of them completely buried under the sand. Some of them not so much. But as you make it there, you see that there were possibly obelisks or towers of some kind, Luther, that have been long since shattered and blown over. Hundreds of years ago, if not longer. It looks antique. The antiquity is quite evident in not only the masonry, but the weathering of the stone. It is a testament to the craftsmanship that it is in as good shape as it is. Something that you're not sure the Empire can ever match without sorcery, or the aid of the mighty Dawn. Regardless, though, Luther, as you motion the expedition to take refuge within the ruins of this ancient city, are you guys attempting to ambush your pursuers? Or are you taking refuge for the night? Because that will determine what kind of test we're making.
I think we are trying to, unless I'm misunderstood, I think we probably are trying to punch them in the mouth if we can.
Okay. Why don't you guys give me I need a single stealth check. This will be from one of you. This will be the equivalent of what we're going to run with for the expedition.
I still got rerolls, Lucian, if you need me to roll one.
Yeah, you might want to try that.
Okay.
Oh, is your super stealthy guy somewhere else?
He's
gone.
dead.
He's
I don't
dead.
know if he's
He died!
super stealthy.
He's in the night mountains. Yeah. No, he is. He's super stealthy too. He shoots, he sneaks, he peeks.
That's right on the money.
Right on the money.
50-50.
50-50. Okay. With a success, you begin to motion to make a camp, essentially, in what would be the equivalent of like a large square. You have shattered ruins on many sides of you. On one side, on the northern side, you have what looks like the large structure, perhaps the one that this city was built around. You're assuming at one point, Luther, this was probably a massive pyramid. It has long since been destroyed or knocked over. You're not sure what kind of disaster befell it, but now it is perhaps 100 feet tall, completely covered in sand. And you do not see much else. You don't see like an entrance or anything else to the structure. To the east and west are just shattered. What looks like probably there was some kind of thoroughfare that ran through here. A large gap where you guys can essentially put the expedition down, at least the majority of the carts, and begin to set up tents and whatnot. And to the south of you appears to be perhaps like a market square or something. So smaller buildings of some kind spread out kind of sporadically. You're not exactly sure what this city once was, but whatever it was, it is long past. As you begin to place down the carts, circling relatively loosely, almost baitingly, the mongrel gives his expertise in the matter. As he approaches you, Luther, I think that we should leave the tents set up where they're at, but pull the men in close to the center. Leave dummies on the outside. Only our strongest individuals on the outside.
Very well. We'll do so immediately.
Which means that the four of you will be split up in different parts of the camp, taking watches on your own.
I will have Ignis with me.
Of course you
But yes. Yes, I will.
The giant, molten, flaming metal, armored war suit that is going to be...
Cloak on?
It's going to look like a beacon of light throughout the shattered ruins.
Hey,
as
he's
he
always bright.
Smolders
No,
brightly next to you,
No.
Luther. Okay. I mean, you might as well light your staff if he's standing by you.
I figure my staff is
You might as well.
staff's perpetually lit. But yes,
Perpetually lit.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will make the flame a little brighter.
A little brighter. Cast some even more light as everyone else pulls in.
I do have some bandages wrapped around my body, maybe some bandages on my face.
Of course, yes. I'm sure they look expertly done, Luther.
I'm sure they are. Nog did them. Our master.
Nog did them. Then in that case, they probably
master
are
medic.
expertly done. Your Medicae, Nog.
Yes.
All right. With that, I'm going to need a perception test from the four of you. Each of you separately. Let's see how we do.
Oh.
I have to re-roll that.
I mean, a 3 passes.
I do not perceive.
fail.
Luther, 99. To a 7.
I just missed
Holy
it. Even with
shit.
Rory.
Nog, it's barely a fail even with Rory, Nog?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a 30. It's going to be a 41 over a 36.
Okay.
Mine's 4 levels of success.
Of course it is, Luther. Of course it is, per usual. Lucien, is that a fail for you?
One level of success.
It's 1 level of success? Okay.
I also have 6th sense, if the DM remembers. You must make
Damn it.
We're selling out.
my intuition is a 55.
Of course it is.
So if I fail something, sometimes you can roll a secret roll for me.
I'll roll a
just
secret
in
roll
case.
for you right now.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Didn't you roll a 7 on your perception test?
I did. But it's 4 levels of success for perception.
Okay, yes.
In addition, I've got a 6th sense.
In addition. Okay, yeah.
We're going to give me some bonus points.
Bonus
That's
points?
up to you.
No, not giving you bonus points. All right. So, as you bed down for the night and you begin to feign a kind of vulnerability, hoping to lure in your pursuers. Important note, Henry, I need to know, you are taking a watch as well. Are you armored?
Yes.
Okay. What about your knights? Are they at the ready, or are they taking it lax somewhere? Everyone's at the ready. They're kind of
we're at the ready.
I'm assuming they're not mounted though. Like they're like huddled in their tents, ready to spring essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just want to give a picture of what's happening. Okay. With that, we cut to Luther. Lucien, you'll be getting a little something too. Luther with 4 levels of success. few hours after the sun goes down. Night is full in all its glory. You begin to sense something, Luther. Perhaps your sixth sense is going off. That little tickle that you sometimes have. You begin to look around, and that's when you notice the winds shifting. But not the physical winds. As you see almost like a darkening cloud begin to envelop the top of the temple-like structure, pyramid that was knocked over. A little over 100, 150 feet above you. You see the gathering of the winds and almost a shadowy like veil. As you look up, you see it quite obviously. Somebody's trying to veil their approach. In addition, Luther, with 4 levels of success, you begin to look around, and you see near you, you see the sand begin to slowly sink. And as you watch it, you realize that you've seen sand act like this before. Perhaps something is digging beneath your very feet.
And we're all kind of out here.
You're all spread out. Now, Lucien, you will notice a similar hole beginning to appear near you with your level of success. Now, how you guys want to... communication is going to be difficult without giving yourselves away, unless you're just willing to just spring it right now. It's up to you. However you want to do this. But it appears... It appears that this is not going to be a simple few rats sneaking into your camp. That it appears to be this is going to be a full-scale assault on the expedition.
Okay. I think well, I guess I think. Do I notice? These are the only things I noticed, though. Like the gathering of the shroud.
Yes, you do. Those are the things that you do notice.
Okay, I don't notice any scouts or anything like that anything like that, or
not that you can see. No.
Okay. Then I will kind of move in a different position, slightly away from the hole. I don't want to get just swallowed up by the hole.
Okay.
Have Ignis move a little bit. Then I'm going to position myself a little bit further back from the hole. And when I see the sands, they're starting to get slightly deeper and deeper, where it's going to start to come out, I'm going to shoot off a signal into the sky to alert everyone that we're under attack.
What's the signal, Luther?
A blast, of course.
A blast.
The
fiery conflagration.
Yes. To shoot off into the sky.
Okay.
And then I'm going to immediately start channeling magic. So.
All right, Luther. Luther's going to kick us off as he begins to channel magic, as he whips his staff into the air, sending a blast of pyromancy up, detonating over the camp, signaling all of you. Yeah, all of you to immediately be at your ready. In an instant, Henry and his men devolve themselves of their tent, ripping themselves free, running for their horses nearby, as Lucien and the remaining hardened veteran troops that you have immediately spring to action at the ready. Nog standing up, Mr. Rory slapping you on the side of the head. You look up towards the firework, and then pointing you in the direction of the nearest thing that might be on the offensive. All right,
yeah, let's go.
let us pull this up real fast.
Shall we initiate?
We are going to go ahead and roll the initiative.
D10. Ooh, that's not good.
Let's roll for. I got to roll for the rats. For all of them individually. There's a lot of shit happening. I'm not rolling very well. Quite bad, actually. Who else is involved in this? Oh, yeah. Almost forgot about them. All right. Need to do numbers by these so I know what they are. All right. So, Henry, where did we find you at?
I got a 10.
You got a 10. Okay. Lucien?
9.
9 for Lucien. Nog.
A 4.
A 4 for Nog.
No.
And last but not least, Luther.
13.
13 for Luther. Jesus. All right. We're kicking this off with a bang. As soon as the explosion goes off, Luther, you hear the mass of movement beneath your feet as tunnels, holes more specifically, open up around the camp, around the outskirts of the camp, none of them in the center of the camp yet. As they do, outpour bodies, just flimsily tattered, skaven, fumbling about, most of them with no weapons or anything in their hands, just ravening red eyes as they come spilling outwards towards the encampment in their dozens, if not hundreds. As all these holes open up around you, you see above the veil of almost like shadowy obscurement begins to dissolve. Above you, you see what looks like a group of perhaps 8, 9 large creatures. You would recognize them as rat ogres. Big, bulky beasts. Each of them the size of Nog, if not bigger. And there is, in fact, one quite large one. One that may or may not have saws embedded in its hands where they've been removed. And there is what looks like a 3-horned gray seer riding its back, who looks down with its one good eye crackling with green magical might, Luther, as the mighty gray seer Thrilk is present. In addition, Luther, also up above, there appears to be a group of heavily armored ratmen with a very large rat man looking down, equally armored, with some kind of strange-looking axe in his hands. Doesn't look like it was made by a Skaven. It looks much better craftsmanship. You notice that there are many skulls and things dangling off of his armor. Obviously a general or warlord, perhaps, of some kind. In addition to this, Luther, as you look about, you see that there appear to be what looks like a large, what would you call that? A large pack of wolf rats approaching from the east. They're slathering, snapping jaws as they are let loose. Their packmasters kind of riding a few of them in. And that's what you see, Luther. What would you like to do?
A lot going on.
There's a lot going on. The expedition has just got itself together. Oh yeah, as we start, you will notice that your stalwart new companion, the minuscule tradesman with the large cart.
Yeah.
Yes. Feng Shi, the peddler.
Feng Shi.
His wagon begins to shift and move as he pulls a lever. You guys are allowed, at the start of the fight, since you initiated it, to choose a target for Feng Shi. He's kind of a one-off.
Yeah, one and done.
He's one and done, but supposedly whatever he sets his aim on will greatly diminish anything that he sets his will to. It can be
available
anything.
Targets.
So your targets, your available targets are the wolf rats, the slathering masses of like rat flesh, the rat ogres, or the storm vermin and their warlord cohort.
I vote ogres, but I vote ogres.
All right.
I don't think there's really any wrong answers besides maybe the Skaven slave / clan rat, but
you're not exactly sure the full extent of what his cart can do, but perhaps it can deal with the masses as well as the large.
Very impressive to see. I vote ogres unless someone else has a differing opinion, perhaps.
I mean, it's probably the ogre. How many ogres was there?
There appear to be 8 large rat ogres.
Yeah, I don't know if Nog can handle all 8. So
sure it can. Look at him.
I mean, if you
I think Nog,
horses,
Nog can handle maybe 4 of them, not 8 of them.
Yeah. I say ogres, unless someone else has a different opinion.
I support this decision.
We've got 3 for the rat ogres. Nog, they don't believe in you. I'm sorry.
There's 8 rat ogres. What's a big rat ogre?
So you tell Feng Shi, you tell him, you point towards the top of the broken pyramid.
The ogres.
He says, "Indeed!" As he pulls his lever, as it begins to unfold, a massive cannon erupts from the top of it. As it points towards the top of the pyramid, there is a cacophonous boom.
The mighty celestial dragons.
As there is a giant explosion from this gargantuan cannon. As you notice, Luther, that the shot is not, it doesn't look like a standard cannonball. You can see it. Matter of fact, everybody can see it. It doesn't move impressively fast. It seems to be pulsing with some kind of energy, Luther, that probably only you can see. And as it approaches the top of the pyramid, it detonates before it even actually hits the ogres themselves. It explodes outwards in a shower of almost like shot. It appears that Thrilk is completely caught off guard, as he is somewhat jarred from the explosive experience. When the explosion begins to dim and fade, you notice that the Storm Vermin guard have kind of retreated away from the initial detonation, unscathed, with the Warlord in tow. But where before there were 8 massive rat ogres, there are now none. The only thing left standing is the Bonebreaker rat ogre. And Grayseer Thrilk, as he has put up some kind of defensive barrier around himself and his mount. And he has survived.
I'll take it.
Kill slave! Oh! He screams out, and it kind of echoey booms outwards towards all the Skaven as they begin to rise up. But Luther, you were first in initiative.
I'm gonna start. I need a channel.
Okay.
Unless that explosion caused a lot of fire. It sounded like it did, but
no, not so much fire. No.
Then I will channel. Would probably be
you bastard.
I need a channel.
I get some fire out here.
Yeah. Maybe if there's maybe it was napalm like. I don't know. But yes, I will channel.
Okay.
Here we go. Ooh. Yeah.
Critical on the channel.
Yeah. Critical channel. It's not a bad thing anymore for me.
Damn it. Of course it isn't.
I know. But I will be able to use that critical to let me double check. I think.
Can you immediately cast?
I can immediately cast what I wanted to channel, I believe. Let me just double check.
Okay.
1 second. I have to use my phone a bit.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Here it goes again.
I know. It's these spells.
It's these spells. There's so many spells. You had to pick a damn wizard. You couldn't be normal like the rest of us.
It's very fun. It's just... There's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Is this a regular battle, or are we doing the big thing?
This is... So, because you are so diminished in abilities, it is going to be a combination of both. You have a lack of men with you.
I can't cast it, but I get to add a number of bonus success levels to the extended channeling test equal to my willpower bonus, which is 5.
Holy shit.
I will have that channeling test already would be 5. So I will get
10?
2. Actually, sorry, no. I have 12 success levels of channeled magic.
12?
12. Because of my cloak and such.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 12. But I can't cast anything, I just channel.
Yeah. But next round you'll be able to do that. Now, just food for thought, just because it doesn't happen all the time. We need to specify. Are you on the ground? Or are you perhaps standing on Ignis?
I assumed, not in my mind. In my mind, I'm on the ground, and I have Ignis in front of me, kind of close. Because in my mind, the hole was kind of getting kind of close to me when it was kind of coming forward.
Yeah.
So I had him a little bit forward, cloak off to try to attract some attention from the slathering horde that was pouring out of the holes.
All right.
So, I didn't have Felicity out there either, so
So it's just you standing out there by your lonesome behind Ignis. Okay. Just want to make sure.
I was trying to be bait. I had
to make sure I know where you're at. Okay. So
at this point, the
you're-
bandages are burned off. You know.
Of course they are. They burn off immediately.
Yeah.
Now, if you get, I don't know if something would happen to you. If you were struck while you're channeling magic, does it explode in your face?
I have to make a cool test
to
at
keep your
minus 20.
concentration. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. No reason. No reason.
I know.
All right, that's gonna be the end of Luther's turn.
Yes.
Next up, believe it or not, is going to be Henry. Henry and his
Right.
knights.
So the men have been gathered.
They have.
Are there any choke points in this structure?
You're kind of relatively open. Now, we'll say the mounds of the buildings, as sand is built up over them, they're kind of obstacles, but not really. You could run up the side of one quite easily. Any of these structures are long buried. Think of like a half-buried city, essentially. So you're in what would be like a main thoroughfare running east to west. Currently, at the top of the larger pyramid, 100 feet or so above all of you, there's the remnants of Throk and his Bonebreaker. And, of course, there are the Storm Vermin and the Warlord up there as well. On the ground, there are these holes have opened up all throughout around you, where these massive numbers of what look like just emaciated, disgusting rat men are just funneling out in massive numbers. And then you have to the east, you have a slathering horde of wolf rats that are fast approaching with their packmasters in tow. So what is Henry going to do? Where is he going to lead his knights?
Would I know the area of greatest concern, where the biggest threat would be?
The
of
biggest
people-
threat
of people being killed.
probably the biggest threat probably would have been the rat ogres, but they are no
Correct.
more.
Yes.
I will say the most mobile force is of course the wolf rats. They're very
I'm thinking,
fast.
yeah. I'm thinking the wolf rats. So I will probably we'll gather them in. I will form the tip of the spear
Mhm.
and
You're gonna charge towards those wolf rats.
yes, the youngest knight commander in Empire history is going
Yes.
to gonna ride
Yes,
out.
he's gonna lead the charge.
Spears or lances, down.
All
visors
your
down.
men. Yun Bodri by your side. As he takes up his lance, he removes his helm. He just throws it on the ground. He looks towards you.
Ah,
Yes.
that's rule
We-
number one.
We will spill blood this day! As he rides in behind you, Henry.
Yeah, going in. We're going in for the Empire.
Going in.
For
I mean-
everybody.
As you run in, give me an attack roll or charge roll.
Yes. So what do I roll a D100 on the charge? Since I have the shock cavalry.
What is read shot cavalry for me real fast.
Alright. When making a charge, riders of mounts with this trait may move through smaller creatures to reach their targets. Each creature the mount tramples has to make a
Oh,
challenging
God.
dodge test
Holy
or
shit.
suffer 4 plus the mount strength bonus.
Okay, I'll give you this. Because you have that, I'll let you run through one of the horde of Skaven slaves.
Okay.
I'm gonna have them roll. They have to roll a dodge.
Yep.
Critical
Challenging
failure.
dodge.
Critical failure
Yeah.
on the Skaven slaves dodge.
Yes.
I'm gonna probably just reserve that for all of those that group that open up. And Henry, as you're just charging towards the wolf rats, as you're moving, a hole opens up and outpour these like Skaven. There's tons of bodies. Your men don't slow
Yes.
down. The horses don't slow down. You just run through them. As they just as they fall backwards, trampled underneath the shod feet of your war horses. You move forward. Now give me a charge like attack roll for the wolf rats, Henry. You've severely damaged the Skaven morale already.
Oh, I gotta re-roll. That's a critical
Oh,
failure.
shit, 99. Yes.
We'll
I
just
see.
we'll ignore that happened. That's a
Ignore that
6.
one. It's 56.
So that is going to be 1 level of success.
1 level success. I have 4 degrees of failure. Now the
Okay.
wolf rats are considered normal size. They're not considered large.
Okay.
So you actually get a bonus when you strike them, like you would a person. They're just extremely fast. So you have a size advantage. So you get to double your strength bonus on the attack against them.
So
So go ahead. Yeah.
So my strength bonus is 10.
Basically, yeah. Right now, you're getting to experience what Nog feels like whenever he attacks something.
Okay. So that's a minimum of 22 plus I have
Oh
impact
my
and
God!
I have impact as well on the wings.
Impact. So plus 6.
Plus
28?
6.
Jesus. Let me look at
Get
my
skewered.
look at my wolf rat stat line here.
Unfortunately, I didn't crit, so impale. Impale doesn't imply, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, the wolf rats are not long for this world. They don't have that many wounds. All right. So, Henry, it's going to be you, and you have 8 men left.
Yeah.
How many?
I had 8.
Yeah, you have 8 men left. Since 2 of them died in the previous battle. So you and 8 men. I'm gonna roll just a roll for your men to see how they do. They rolled like almost identical to what you rolled. They rolled a 41, which is like 1 degree of success for them.
Wow.
All right. So everybody's going to be doing massive damage to the wolf rats. With that much damage, you're going to slay instantly more than half of them. You yourself, Henry, skewer 3. As the lance dips down, God, it's like a massive kebab. It ends up weighing so much that you have to actually physically drop it because there's just 3 bodies impaled on it. As you drop it and then begin to draw your blade, you watch as Baudry and the rest of your young knight group have a similar action take place. Instantly, the slathering horde of wolf rats is shattered. And as soon as impact happens, they break. They massively fail their cool test, and despite the Packmaster's best effort to keep them like, they begin to scatter, and as they do, the Packmasters look up, and they begin to flee as well, out chasing their beasts. And that's going to be it for your action, Henry. You've done your due diligence.
Yes.
That will bring me to Lucien and his merry band.
Wow. Who are we closest to?
Unfortunately, Lucien, you're going to be down in the muck with the hordes of slaves that are billowing up to the surface.
Gotcha.
Johanna is at your side, as well as the remainder of the hardened veteran troops. They're ready for orders and whatever task you would like to put forward, Lucien.
We're just going in.
Just going in. You said, charge! And then just rush outwards towards the nearest group. Johanna slips in behind you, Lucien. I will have your back. As you rush forward, give me an attack roll, Lucien. You will get a charge bonus on this.
Let's go. How many is that?
It's a plus 10 to your roll.
I'll take it. That's going to be 1 level of success.
1 level of success. I have 5 degrees of failure for the nearby Skaven slaves. How much damage can you do, Lucien?
With that level of success, it's going to be 8 wounds.
8 wounds. Okay. 8 wounds. These things are pathetic. They're very weak. and you instantly kill one, even only doing 8 damage. You rush forward and just slash one open as it's pouring out of the hole. As more begin to pour in behind it. It is a massive, you're essentially fighting like a conglomerate entity. There are so many bodies spilling out of the hole. All right, Johanna is going to do her best here. That is 4 degrees of success. I get a dodge, but it's not enough. It's going to deal... Alright, good enough damage there. Johanna slashes through one as well. And let's roll for the veterans. Critical fail for the veterans. A 99.
What's going on with this tonight?
I don't know. I don't know. Shit. I failed miserably for the Skaven dodge, but it's not going to matter because the men are overwhelmed with the press of bodies, essentially, as they begin to just... they're not making headways. Lucien, you and Johanna are pushing your way through. You're putting a dent in it, Lucien, but it will take quite a bit of work to chisel down the horde of flesh. All right. That will bring me to... Okay, the wolf rats are gone. I'll just remove those real fast. All right, that brings me to the slaves. The press of bodies, the Skaven slaves are rolling over. Lucien and the men. Nog, you're going to be included in this. Luther as well. Henry is cut free for now. I'm sure he's probably going to turn his horses and come back towards the horde now. But for now, attacks will be made against the 3 of you from the horde. Each of you will have 4 attacks made against you from the scratching claws of the Skaven horde. Lucien, we're starting with you. Defend yourself in some way, sir. Critical success. That does damage on the flip side. Unfortunately, the way I have this set up is I have it set up as one giant creature, so it's not going to be able to take a critical wound, but you will do significant damage instead. How much damage can you do at 22?
That would be 6 success levels. 13 wounds.
Damn it, man. All right, on a defensive roll, Lucien slashes as the horde keeps pressing. You slash through two more slaves, just slashing side to side. Defend yourself again, Lucien.
That's going to be 5 levels of success.
Easily done, Lucien. You bat aside the claws.
And
yes,
I have riposte.
Okay, what's riposte do?
So I will do damage.
For every defensive roll?
I've taken it 2 times, so I get to use it
twice?
Up to 2 times per turn. Yep.
Per turn? Holy
per turn.
Shit!
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I have a massive failure on this. So yeah, what's the damage from the second attack?
12 wounds.
Another 12. Lucien is clearing out the horde. Holy shit. Okay. That was the 3rd attack again? Well, that was the 2nd attack against you. Wait. Was it? It was the 2nd one. Yeah. 3rd attack. Defend yourself, Lucien. Another 40. I have 3 degrees of success, Lucien.
Oh, that's too bad. I have more success levels, and that's a crit.
Oh, because of Impale, it is a crit. Oh, shit. All right. How much damage is that going to be, Lucien?
That's another 12 wounds.
Another 12 wounds. Going through. All right. All right. 4th attack, Lucien. I rolled well this time. I have 5 degrees of success. Now you will have 3 points of momentum, I think, right now.
So that's a 105 for my. That's 100. So that's 6 levels of success.
Excellent. You have 1 more degree of success, you bastard.
Now,
Yes.
now here's my question: do those critical hit?
No, they
Damage
won't.
count.
They won't count as your riposte. No, because
I'll
it's
use my
not
second
the
riposte.
ability. So you use it to deal damage off this
another
one.
13
Yes.
wounds.
Another 13 more wounds. All right, Lucien. Lucien is pretty much by himself, leading the way in a fury slashing through.
Tired of the skulking around the desert.
As in his rage, you see like this bloodlust come out of Lucien that you have not seen as of yet. At least most of you haven't seen up close. Wolfram could probably attest to it at some point. But regardless, Lucien B just is loose, and he's just slashing and cutting and slashing and stabbing and moving and riposte and stabbing through these foul slave-like creatures to the point where they break. They instantly shatter. All morale leaves them as they quake in fear at the sight of the blood-stained visage of Lucien Levesque, as death has come for them. And they have been found wanting. As they shatter and begin to pull away, they begin to scatter away. You watch as they begin to try to come back into the holes that they burst out from. And as they do, you watch as all of them are impaled and pushed to the side from spears from below, as more armored rat men that you would recognize as the standard foot soldiers of the Skaven Legion spear and slash their own and push them aside and begin to come out of the hole as they used their own slaves to break the charge of the rest of you. The clan rats have now shown themselves. You instantly pushed us to clan rat territory, Lucien. I don't appreciate that. But that will, since that ends the slave's turn, the rest of you will not be fielding attacks against you, unfortunately. Good for Luther. However, the clan rats have appeared now, and they're much more robust. All right, I will just remove the slaves real fast. Remove them. Get rid of them. Wonder if I'm going to get demonetized for saying slave. I don't know. We'll find out.
We're like an hour in.
All right, an hour in, it'd be fine. All right. Last but not least is going to be Nog. Nog. Whatever you'd like to do, Nog. The clan rats are loose up the pyramid. The storm vermin and the warlord still present, as well as Grayseer Thrilk and his massive bulk. That is.
Yeah. I'm gonna go for the biggin.
The big one. Nog peels away, scrambling up the tower towards the Grayseer and his Bonebreaker. You feel a twinge across your chest, Nog, where you were slashed open by one of its massive buzzsaws the last time you came face to face with it. But Rory has your back this time. I got you, Master Nog. We fear nothing, we do.
What?
As Rory lights some of his roasters as he rides your shoulder, double fisting it as you scamper up the tower, Nog. Let's see.
Very little toes.
Yeah, let's see if you can get up to the top. How quickly, Nog? So give me a climb roll. Depending on how you do, will be if you are still making your way up, because this is like 100-foot pyramid, at least part of the structure. 26
under a 63.
Yeah, so
4 plus a Rory. 3 plus a Rory.
Yeah, so you get 4 levels of success then, Nog. 4 levels of success, you easily close the distance up towards the top. That'll be the equivalent of your action though, Nog, for initiative purposes. But that does mean that the rat ogre won't get a charge against you downhill, which has, as Henry can attest to, has significant advantages imposed with it. So yeah, as you head off, you just scream and run up. towards the rat ogre. You don't have to make a fear check because you inspire fear. Most others would be quaking in their boots right now. Master Rory is with you, so he doesn't have to as well. He has the love of the big folks.
Strength. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
So that is going to be it for Nogster then, as he moves to engage the massive creature. All right, that's the end of our first round of combat. It's not going well for the Skaven right now. I'm not going to lie. It's going quite poorly. However, it is the next turn. All right.
What's my boy the Mongol doing? Whoa, what's his deal?
The mongrel is going to be down in the trenches with Lucien.
Okay.
The mongrel can be summoned at the cost of a fate point of one of you. If you need to be saved, the mongrel will help you out, essentially. If, you know, for some reason, somebody gets messed up real bad. But regardless, he's down in the trenches with the rest of the individuals. Luther, normally you are first in initiative, but I lied to you because there's actually someone or something else that is actually first in initiative and was biding its time for the right moment to strike. As a pack of black-clad rat assassins come spilling out of a nearby building very close to Luther. So close, in fact, that he barely has time to turn and see them. Oh! As Ignis is busy stemming the tide of the clan rats bursting forth at the hole before you. You spin to face them as the gutter runners come lolloping towards you, Luther. There are 6 of them. And they each have throwing stars. You turn, Luther, and face what looks like imminent death as each of them pulls up a set of throwing stars and begin to launch them in your direction. First one. Going to be 2 degrees of success. That's going to hit you, Luther. My gutter runners here. Ooh, I forgot how deadly these were. The shurikens. They don't do a lot of damage, though. You're only looking at 8 points of damage from the first shot, Luther. You can mitigate it with your toughness. This is going to be now a 16. I believe that hits your... Yeah, this might be important. Do you have armor?
No.
No, you don't. You don't wear armor.
Just my old toughness.
There's the old toughness. 16. This is going to be your left arm.
Okay.
Slices into your left arm. Ah! You need to make a endurance test at -20.
Oh, that's not gonna be good. I'm gonna mutate right here before everyone.
No, not -20. Just regular.
Regular?
Mm-hmm.
It's a fail. It's gonna be hard for me to do a -20 endurance roll.
Well, it's not -20. It's a regular.
Oh, still, it'd be hard for me to get. Oh, it's a fail. It's
a fail.
3 degrees of fail.
Okay. Well, you're gonna have to take 1 poison condition.
Oof. Okay.
This is from the for the first shuriken that strikes you.
Yes.
Luther.
Yes.
There are 5 more.
I need to make a test.
Okay. We'll see if the next 5 hit.
Oof. I'm gonna have to reroll that test. So bad.
Shit. Do you have any more fortune points? Oh no. Why did everyone freeze? What is happening? He did not just do this to me. You guys there? this point, we decided to take our first break due to some technical difficulties, and we will be picking it up shortly.